Hey everybody, it's me, Dr. Whimsy, and this is kind of a fun video that explores 6 things that you can do starting today that will help you become happier. And the good news is that you don't have to spend any money. In fact, if you do these 6 things, you will probably spend a lot less money. You will save money, and who doesn't want to save money? And you will be happier. I don't understand why everyone wouldn't look at this video. Okay, so I'm going to try and get through this in 10 minutes or less, but here you go. These are 6 things as a naturopathic doctor that I discuss in my office to help my patients become happier, and they don't cost any money. But they're not necessarily easy to do because they require a lot of adjusting on the part of the person who is attempting to do them. So the first thing I tell people to do is to give up consumption of sugar. Not easy, right? That means no candy bars, no cookies, none of that good, delicious, yummy stuff that has sugar. I also add to that corn syrup, soda pop, those sorts of things that contain corn syrup. Excuse me. You may find after a few days of giving up sugar that you are sleeping better. When you wake up in the morning, instead of feeling tired, depressed, achy, not wanting to get out of bed, you will notice a dramatic difference in terms of your mental cognition, how you feel after giving up sugar. Give it a try. If you can't do it forever, try 21 days sugar moratorium. Let me know how you feel. The number 2 thing that I placed on this list was processed foods. Anything that's been pre-packaged or pre-made. For people who are trying to go on a plant-based diet, you may find that you're consuming a lot of pre-packaged, pre-made things like the fake meat products. Those are good transitionary foods. I don't think they're particularly healthy. I would rather people eat foods in their natural forms, beans, rice, etc., cooked well, spiced well, prepared well, but with no MSG, no chemicals, no preservatives. You can save a lot of money that way. It is a little bit of time consuming, so I always tell people to prep their food a couple days in the week, and that usually does the trick for me. For example, a couple days ago I made pea soup. I made a vegetable pea soup, and then I put it in the freezer, and now I can have pea soup throughout the week. And it turned out very good, by the way. So that's an example of something that I can do that saves me money, takes a little bit of prepping, but it's a lot healthier than something that's prepackaged. Number 3, what I have found is very helpful, particularly if you struggle with anxiety combined with depression, is to give up coffee. Coffee has benefits in terms of cognition. It's one of the only foods that contains a drug, caffeine, that's been found to actually have a positive impact on brain function. It improves cognition. There's been some studies on improved cognition, decreased risk for Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. There's been some great studies that actually support consumption of coffee. However, if you're someone who suffers from panic attacks, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, then I would add to the list, if you're trying to become happier and more peaceful, more calm, I would have you discontinue coffee as well. Put that on the list. I do allow green tea, because even though green tea contains green tea, matcha, I do allow it. It doesn't seem to have the same effect for whatever reason, even though it does contain caffeine. The effect from green tea is not the same. Number 4, I ask people during the 21-day cleanse to become happy that they give up animal products of any kind. Again, this is a great way to save money. If you're eating a bowl of lentils instead of steak, that's going to be much less expensive. You can buy organic lentils, brown rice, quinoa, that sort of thing at your local health food store, and it usually runs no more than a couple bucks a pound. Quinoa is a little bit more expensive, but realistically, to buy organic brown rice, it usually runs for about $2.50, $3 a pound. 1 pound of brown rice, I think, makes something like 3 pounds of cooked rice. It's a lot of food. Same with the beans, about the same price point. You can even buy beans at the 99-cent store. So the trick is to eat simply, to give up the animal products, cook the food yourself, have 1 or 2 days a week set aside to prepare the foods. If you're looking for great recipes, by the way, that are plant-based, I would really explore ethnic cooking, cooking from other parts of the world. You may like it if you've never tried it before. Indian cooking, I would, for example, a good starting point would be chickpea curry, what's called chana masala. You may want to give that a try. You might like it. So the Indian cooking is a great starter point if you're learning about plant-based foods. Indian cooking is great, and Arabic cooking, believe it or not. It's very hot in the Middle East, so people don't consume a lot of meat. Instead, they rely mostly on plant-based foods. Hummus, tabbouleh, baba ganoush, tahini, these Arabic-style lentil soup. So these are all completely plant-based. Israeli and Arabic foods, great idea for some plant-based foods that taste delicious. But there are other parts of the world as well where they have great vegetarian recipes. So just explore, don't just stay with what you know. Explore other types of food, and it makes it a little bit more interesting. The 6th recommendation I have here, or pardon me, we're on the 5th. The 5th is to avoid tabloid newspapers. This is actually a source of incredible depression for, I think, a lot of Americans, is the way in which media and advertising can have a profound effect on our sense of self-esteem and self-worth. So I want to add to avoiding tabloid newspapers, beauty magazines, and also, if you do watch television, consider either turning the TV off for 21 days, not even going near it, or when an advertisement comes on, mute it. Really to have a media blackout for this 21 days so that you're not exposed to any images that have a vested interest. The purpose of those advertising campaigns is to make you feel bad about yourself, so you'll go spend some money. So you get depressed, you feel depressed that you don't have the money to buy the product, or you feel depressed because you bought the product because you didn't feel good about yourself, and now you have credit card debt in addition to feeling bad about yourself. So it becomes this never-ending cycle. So people have come to me and said that they felt tremendous relief and happiness simply by unplugging from images that were magazines, newspapers, social media, anything that had advertising in it that the message was to make you feel bad about yourself so you spend money. It gets to be really complicated, because we're bombarded by these images. Every time you go into the supermarket, as you're waiting in the checkout line, though there are those magazines trying to lure you to look at those magazines, read the fake news, whatever. Next thing you know, you start believing that complete strangers have better lives than you do. It's bizarre, and it has a specific reason why it exists, and the function is to make you unhappy, so you will go and buy that dress, buy that lipstick, etc. So consider a media blackout for 21 days. And the 6th thing is to begin incorporating meditation into your daily life. And there are YouTube channels that teach basic meditation, but I recommend the breath meditation, where you focus simply on the breath going in and out of the mouth. That's known as a Vipassana technique. I would also recommend watching the Dhamma brothers. You can watch it on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon.com. It's a great documentary on the effects of Vipassana meditation on a prison population in Alabama. The reason I mention that is because it shows just how powerful meditation can be on the brain and on relieving stress and anxiety. And that's a good documentary because it shows an extreme example of a stressful environment having a profound effect on a given population. Okay, so those are my 6 tips. I hope they helped you. Number 1, give up sugar, corn syrup, and those naughty things. Number 2, give up processed food, junk food. Number 3, give up coffee if you feel that you have anxiety associated with the depression. Number 4, abstain from all animal products and instead learn to cook cruelty-free. Great ways to do that are to Google and get recipes from other cultures that have a long history of eating plant-based. Number 5, consider a media blackout of any images, advertising that are put out to make us feel bad about ourselves. 21-day media blackout, very important. And finally, number 6, engage in a meditation practice. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night is usually what I recommend for my patients. And the type of meditation that I tend to think works the best is focused breath meditation. You can find out more about that by going to YouTube videos on it. Also, the Dhamma brothers film. And you can also Google Vipassana if you're interested in the 10-day retreats that are offered throughout the country. I don't work for the organization, but I think they do great work. I want to thank you for watching. I'm glad I got this all done, all my 6 tips relatively quickly. If you'd like to find out more about my work and how I use naturopathic medicine to help people, you can go to my website, drwhimsy.com. I am available for telemedicine, for general wellness coaching. And if you'd like to find out more about naturopathic doctors and what we do, you can go to the American Association of Naturopathic Physicians, linked below. Again, thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.